was in the league for 17 years. He's a champ. He was Defensive Player of the Year. He is Metta World Peace. He also was in Indy for All-Star Weekend. It feels like forever ago already, Metta, but you were in the celebrity game. So we're going to start there. Take us through. How was it?
Yeah, it's good to be back. Thanks for having me. The game was it was interesting. I only had like 4 points, so yeah. Stephen A. had me subbed me out the game a little early, so I got to talk to him about that, but it was fun.
I got to talk to him. Yeah, talk to him.
Metta World, you said Stephen A. subbed you out too early, man. With that, Michael Parsons was able to go off of 37 and 16. Ooh. Being a former Defensive Player of the Year, how you let Stephen A. get away with that and you let Micah cook, man?
Yo, he definitely was cooking. He got bounced. So he was on a fast break, went up off 2, banged it. I'm like, oh, okay. I did block his shot twice, but he was a big body out there. He was just, I didn't even realize he had 37. And the other kid could play too. The kid Stout. He was all right.
Oh yeah, C.J. Stroud was there. I mean, the NFL guys were kind of it. Without them, I don't know what that game was like.
It was another kid too that was a running back that went up off 2 and banged it. I was like,
Puka Nacua.
Yeah,
he was good too.
You know what's funny? He was telling us that if he was in the NBA game tonight, he would give 15 points, and then he got 16 in that game, and we were all dying. Like, that's not so sweet.
You see your face? Look, you see how your face was, Metta? That's how we feel.
These kids.
Maybe 2.
Maybe 2. All right, 2.
Yeah, maybe 2.
You praised Jaylen Brown for doing the dunk contest, and obviously we all want to see all the big guys compete to bring that back to what it used to be. Who else would you like to see next year kind of bring the dunk contest back to, the main event?
Yeah, Jaylen was incredible. I shout out to Jaylen for even, lending his stardom to the dunk contest. We need that, but I would have loved to see LeBron. I know some people said that LeBron can't dunk, he don't got no style, but I thought he would have had kind of rocket behind the back type stuff. But obviously he's getting older now, so I think I would love to see Wemby in the dunk contest. Get Wemby in there. I think he'll do something special. But I mean, Michael Jordan was in the contest, Dominique Wilkins, Clyde Drexler, Kobe Bryant, we need, it got to be some, at least 2 or 3 stars got to, get in the dunk contest.
At least. And I hope that people mocking Jaylen Brown for whatever reason isn't what tells them not to, because we just didn't enjoy the All-Star game at all. We wanted to go down memory lane and have good memories. So 2004, let's take it back to then. You were in this one, the West wins, Shaq gets MVP. What was that All-Star game like being in?
Yeah, that game, well, I'm still salty because we was the best team in the league, right? So I wanted to finish the game. I felt like I was the best small forward in the league at the time. So Coach Carlisle, we lost that game. I didn't want to lose that game. So Coach Carlisle put in, I think Vince was starting that All-Star game. He was voted in by the fans. So I didn't start, even though I was the best small forward in the league. I mean, on the East at that time. But I felt like I should have finished the game, but we lost it. And then I was salty. I remember the first shoot around we had. All the players like in the morning, we just kind of had a shoot around. I was working out on the other end. I was by myself.
Oh no!
Yeah, I was working out. I was getting ready for the game, and I had 7 points and we lost. But it was a really good experience. I didn't even realize Shaq got MVP. It was kind of a blur.
Well, I want to just bring up one thing, and I know Lou's got a question about All-Star, but the shoe thing that you did in this particular All-Star was you wore different shoes, 2 different shoes, and you changed shoes, and word on the street was you were in the market for a new shoe deal. Is this what's happening? Are you auditioning?
Yeah, because I didn't, well, the companies, everybody kept trying to market me, and I'm just like, y'all don't have enough ideas to market me. I just want to sign with y'all, and y'all marketing department move to the side and just let me do what I got to do. So when I couldn't really get that type of deal, I just was wearing whatever shoes, and then, we went from there. But I always wanted my own shoes and wanted to be creative with the marketing. sometimes these marketing departments kind of corny.
I can see that.
Metta, I wanted to ask you about All-Star Weekend because I know how competitive you are. We've been teammates, and I've seen you get in guys' face during practices. And All-Star Weekend is obviously different. It's a time to have fun, but it's missing that competitive balance. It was almost 400 points scored in this last All-Star game, and a lot of complaints were coming out from the fans. What do you think's missing from a player perspective to get this game back, where we can have that balance of fun and understanding what it is, but also getting that competitive spirit back in the game? What do you think the game is missing?
Yeah, it was like even the speed to a pull-up jumper, even if you gave us that, like if you went hard left and pulled up, I would have been like, oh man, that was dope. They wasn't even giving us that, I mean, it's gonna come from the players. I know when I played in that game, I was trying to come in there and win. You want to go out with a win. Now you're not gonna over foul. You're not gonna overplay, but you're gonna do your best. And it was I left early. It was the game could have been better. It was kind of disappointing.
It's kind of crazy because you just mentioned the fact that during warmups for the 2004 game, you're over on the side doing your own thing. So clearly it can be competitive. It's just, I don't know, this generation maybe doesn't have it. Victor Wembanyama, though, seems to be cut from sort of an old school cloth, at least when he answers questions. He's averaging almost 21, 10 rebounds and 3 blocks so far. And he's got that thing where, despite all that, he really hates that they're losing and the team is not where he would like them to be. How long before you think this kid is the best in the league?
Yeah, and I think also, back to the All-Star game really quick, I think they should, if you don't want to play, just say it early.
Yeah.
I don't want to be an All-Star this year, All right, cool, we're going to get somebody in here who want to play, but Wemby, I think he'll be an All-Star probably, maybe even next year, depending on the first round pick they get, but definitely within 2-3 years, he'll be an All-Star, then he'll fill out. And once he starts filling out, then you're gonna have more. He gonna put on 5 pounds. He gonna put on 10 pounds. Then now you're talking about Giannis. Giannis came in slim. Giannis, he couldn't move anything. Now, he bulked up. So I think that's what you don't get from Wemby.
Ooh, quintuple double.
There's been 4 quadruple doubles in the history of the. David Robinson was the last one, I think, in 1994. Is he the next one to do that? Because I feel like we haven't really even talked about this happening since Wembanyama.
Yeah, I know. Now he's incredible. I already see the problems I would have had. Like, you gotta hedge, you gotta tag, you gotta guard him. That would have been super difficult. And I think he'll be, at some point in time, he's gonna have a Wilt Chamberlain type of season. At some point in time, we're going to see something that's going to be boring. They're going to try to change the rules, because he's going to be in a rhythm. He's going to be thick. And you're not going to be able to move him at some point. He's already durable. He's falling. He's not spraining an ankle, which is like incredible. At 7'6", 7'5". So I think you'll see some quadruple doubles. I think you'll see dominance. And don't let him get some shooters around him. Once he gets some shooters around him, right. Then now you're talking about like Stephen Curry on his team would be incredible. Ooh. So he'll be dominant for sure.
Yeah, that's what you kind of touched on. I was going to ask, one-on-one, how do you guard him right now? Do you just get physical with him, try and deny him the ball? Like how would you take on that matchup tonight?
The only thing you can do right now is you can push him. He got that big step. He'll take it around you. So I think even in my prime, he would have been taking these huge steps around him, but you can definitely catch him early while he's young and he don't really have it all. It's similar like when I caught KD in 2010. He was young in that playoffs. You could tell there were certain things he wasn't doing that he's doing now, or he was doing in 2014. So I think we got a small opportunity to catch this kid. Maybe first year in the playoffs you can get him because he'll still be new to the playoffs. But then at some point, it's going to be over.
World, I remember you saying Kawhi Leonard and Tyrese Maxey, 2 of your favorite guys in the league right now. Walk me through what you see in them and what you love about their games.
Yeah, man, I think with Maxey, at first I thought he was 6'7". I found out on All-Star Weekend he was only 6'2". I thought he was 6'7". So I think his defense, his energy. So he's giving that energy on both sides. And I mean, I got a soft spot for that, for people that's giving out all that effort and then going getting buckets on the other end. Somebody told me to watch him a couple years ago. And then I finally watched him, and I was like, oh, I see what they're talking about. Somebody said he was playing defense like me or something like that. So I watched him, and now he's averaging, I think, 20 plus 28, something like that. So he's a scorer on both sides. And I think, he'll be a first-team All-NBA guy. He'll be a dominant figure. He's quietly, one of the best players in the league, because people are not talking about him like they're talking about other stars, and he's better. I think he's way more dominant than a lot of other people.
All eyes on him too now.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to ask you about certain players in your career. Is there a list? Is there a short list of guys that you just remember you could just lock up any game, anytime?
Yeah. I try to put names on much anymore, but I think it was a lot of guys I was locking. I was at my prime defensively, so you got to think about it. When I was playing, it was some of the best wing defense. So, and people talk about it to this day, and it was up there with the elite offense. I mean, I wasn't able to dominate a Kobe. And me and Kobe, actually in my prime, we missed each other a lot because I was suspended. So that whole, me and Wade developed a quick rivalry in the East. We took them out early on. I was guarding Wade. He wasn't necessarily guarding me. It was a lot of that going on. When I was playing against other guys, I would guard them, but they wouldn't guard me. Because it was just I was too big for them, honestly. But I think I was locking up quite a few people. That was coming into Indiana. But after Indiana, after I left Indiana, I gained a little weight. So I got up to 260, when that whole thing happened. So I was kind of in a bad mood, in terms of working out. But I was still I still made first team all defense, but I wasn't locking up like I was. I was still playing really good defense though. But a lot of people that came into the building, it was actually I don't like talking the trash part. But to see what I did sometimes, I'd be like, damn,
That's a good thing.
I got 5 points, 7 points. I'm like, oh, wow.
That's good. It's good to look back and be like, I was awesome.
Yeah, because in today's game, you got a lot of stars, and the game is played completely different how it was. It feels like ages ago, Metta, when we was playing, and it really it wasn't that long ago. But you got guys like an Ant-Man, you got guys like Kawhi who are physical guards. Are you locking that up too?
You said what? Oh, I got some clips. So I do I watch YouTube, right? So I do got some good clips that I was measuring, how I would. Me and Kawhi had short-lived moments. I remember him being his rookie year. I remember him doing stuff, and I was like, oh, I was like, this kid front pivoted. I didn't expect a rookie to come in there, catch the ball, and then do a front pivot. I didn't expect him to be that smart. And I remember that pivot. I was like, oh, he got some stuff with him. And then it shows he got every single pivot. So that one I think that one would have been a little. I don't know if I could have locked that one up. But we did have some battles in the post where I had the ball and I was a little bigger. At the time. So I felt very comfortable at times also with people that I couldn't necessarily just lock up. But Kawhi would have been a tough one. There's a couple people out there that would have been a tough one. But in my prime, it would have been a nice battle.
I mean, look, your numbers against Kawhi ain't bad, so they're not shabby at all. I want to talk a little bit about what Charles Barkley recently said. He says a lot, but this was specific to Kevin Durant, and he said that he's just not a good leader. What does that mean to you? Do you agree with that?
I mean, I think with Durant, I'm not going to say he's not a good leader because every team he played on, I didn't hear not one issue that he's not a leader. I didn't hear anybody complain about him. You hear it sometimes publicly, like this guy's just not a good teammate. So I think he's a good leader, but in terms of he had to go to Golden State, right, to get his title, even though he got MVP. So you gotta respect that a little bit, because Curry is probably going to finish top 10, top 15 when it's all said and done. But him going from OKC put a little asterisk in people's minds, I think. But he did get to the finals, you know, and he's a good player, you know. So I don't think he's as vocal as a Kobe was. But when you look at like Derek Fisher or even a Yao Ming didn't talk much, but he led that team. Kevin Durant's a winner, so I think he's a leader, but not everybody's going to be loud. You know, like a Draymond is a leader with his voice. Ben Wallace was a leader with his activity. You know, I was a leader with my activity. I wasn't saying much. You know, I think Kevin Durant I think he is a leader. He works hard. And that's half the battle. Reggie Miller was in the gym at 3:30 p.m. before the game. So he's on the court at 3:30 p.m. before 7 p.m. game, which is like, that's leadership, right? But Reggie wasn't out there screaming or, you know, doing the stuff that a Kobe would do.
Yeah, so on the Kobe thing, because it is weird. I mean, we define leader so very differently across the board. And you mentioned the fact Kobe was more of a vocal, loud leader. Did he have a moment that sort of stood out to you that just was like a leadership moment that you will always remember?
He more by his action, because Kobe wasn't necessarily, he'll give you confidence, but he'll get on you before he give you confidence. He expect you to be in the gym. So I think just his being in the gym at 5:30 a.m., he worked, 2010, he was in the gym hard. He was working hard. He was, you know, getting his work in before and after. I remember one day he came back to the bench and he was like working so hard in the game. And he was like drooling. Maybe Lou was there too, but he was just foaming and drooling at the mouth. Like he was going that hard. I think that's leadership to me. And he shows by example. So even in 2010, when he had 25 straight points, you know, we didn't say much to each other during that run when he scored 25 straight points. But you could tell he wanted to win that game. You know, so I thought like stuff like that is enough leadership for me, you know, to just see that and just go do what you got to do now.
You know, the Lakers recently revealed one of his 3 statues that's going up outside of crypto, and the first one they chose to be a moment from his 81-point game. Did you think that was the right choice?
I mean, yeah, that's a good choice. That's a good choice. I mean, he had other moments. He had the moment when he won his 5th title, you know, but that's the one that Vanessa said he won it, which is like really interesting. I thought the one when he won his 5th title, he was talking to the fans, he just spread it out. I thought that one would have been dope, but he had a lot of good opportunities. I love the fact that the 8 is on the chest and then his number 1 sign is up, so that's kind of synonymous. It looks like it's number 81. It's huge. I thought it was a good choice. You know, I'm sure some people wanted an action shot. But we'll see what the 24 one has, because obviously the one with Gigi's is going to be done.
Yeah. Metta, you also recently posted your top 10 players of all time, and you had Kareem number 1. What was your reason for putting him obviously at that spot?
Who?
You had Kareem 1, right?
Yeah. So I always change my top 10 up on Twitter all the time, on X. But honestly, because I feel like everybody's top 10, you know, you're missing some people, right? We're missing Kareem. Sometimes we miss Hakeem. People miss Duncan all the time because Duncan quiet, you know, and then people miss Bird. They forget that Bird was better than a lot of people. Bird's career ended early, but he still got 3 finals MVPs. I think even 3 NBA MVPs, you know, so you can't just that easily say that Curry is better than Bird, you know, because Bird career didn't last as long. He was playing in flip-flops. Y'all know they was playing in flip-flops back in the day. So these players, they think they tough. If you tough or better than, you know, the old school, go play in those Converses for a season.
Right.
Let's see how tough you are. Let's see how tough you are there.
Flip-flops.
I don't think you're tough.
And then the one I saw too, you had LeBron at number 4 behind MJ and I think Kobe. What was the reasoning for that? Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
Larry Bird.
That list is not a bad list. I feel like, you said what, Michelle?
Oh no, I'm just laughing because we got the list now.
Yeah, I feel like I had to put a date on it because it changes a lot. So I put a date at the top.
Smart.
But I think look, I think LeBron is dope. I think MJ got 6 titles and 9 scoring titles. So I feel like, when you talk about individually, MJ was just he had definitely had the charisma and had the game. His game speak for itself. That's why he's still selling so many shoes. I think LeBron, he very well could be number one because his stats is also insane. So at that point, you measuring stats at that point. Which one do you like better? Do you like the 6 rings, with the 9 scoring titles, or do you like the LeBron James number one and scoring and all that stuff? I think MJ might edge it out, but obviously LeBron to be top 5, top 10, that's incredible.
Yeah,
that's pretty insane.
We love stories about sort of how life is for NBA guys when you're on the road, all that good stuff. Mario Chalmers was recently talking about how LeBron would take teammates out to fancy dinners. Love the idea of that. Did Kobe do that? Or was he sort of doing his own thing and you guys were left alone? How did it work?
Yeah. Kobe took us out. I went out with Kobe one time, I think, to dinner. But some people will go out with him. I think he did have a group, but we haven't been out like fancy dinners. We probably went out a couple times, but that team, we would get into a city, get to the hotel, and people would just go. They separate ways, a couple groups. Every now and then get together. I think Luke played golf a lot when he would get it. I think, and I know Lamar and Luke and Jordan would go out a little bit, but never. I don't think I played with anybody that would take us out.
Oh,
yeah. Maybe, but not really.
When you played on the Lakers, was there any celebrity courtside that kind of, you were starstruck or blew your mind that you wanted to impress a little bit more than the average fan?
I know, it's true. I mean, the first time is always the craziest if you play in LA. That first time you'll see Jack, you'll see Denzel. It's like, all right, cool. I gotta do my thing. Maybe I can get an acting role. Everybody trying to act. Everybody trying to impress a producer. You see Transformer producers, executives over there. You're like, all right, cool. I'm gonna hit a 3. They gonna like it. They gonna offer me a movie role tomorrow.
Just that easy.
Bro, the current Lakers.
You never got a movie role.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, it's LA.
Let me ask you about the current Lakers. They sitting in 9th place right now. Bron and AD, do you feel like they got enough firepower to get to the Western Conference Finals, sitting in that 9th spot?
I mean, I think they for sure got enough firepower. I think they need to get to the playoffs because, I think for them, this regular season, you got to play, you got to run, you got to chase all these plays, these young players. I don't think the regular season is built for this team because it's a marathon, and they need a short marathon. They need the playoffs so they can go hard, get that rest. And especially if you run into some of these young players that's going to make mistakes. Some young players going to turn it over in the end. They're going to get nervous. They're not ready for the first year of the playoffs. They got to run up against a couple combinations where, you get a 5 in there. You got 2 rookies or 2 young players that never been there. Then they could creep by, because, obviously you want to make it to Denver. But I think they got the team. They came into this season and everybody was saying they're good shooters. They got a better shooting team. So that don't change in the season. Sometimes it changes with a feeling or with your rhythm. So I think they can do some things. They got a nice big. I like Hayes. I like I know Woods haven't been playing as well. I like Dinwiddie. I like that addition. But they're gonna have to pull some magic out of the hat, to get to the Western Conference Finals for sure.
Metta, it's looking like when the play-in started, I was a little skeptical. I didn't like it. Now you look at especially the Western Conference this year, it looks like it might be the Lakers and the Warriors. Who right now has that better team, and who do you got winning that matchup if that were to happen?
I think right now the Warriors are on the incline, and they got a swag about them right now where it feels like they're a top 5 team in the West right now. So I think they're in 10th place right now. but I feel like they're a little bit better than that. I think the Lakers sitting in, number I think number 9. I think they're playing like a 9-7 seed right now, whereas the Warriors is playing like a 6 or 5th seed right now. So they definitely gonna have to get a hold on that one. They can beat them. I think they did it one year. They can for sure beat them, but the Warriors are on the incline right now. And the Warriors are looking like they're trying to compete with the Clippers. They looking like, they got some pieces back, and, with Stephen Curry, he can come out of that thing at any point in time.
Can't
And
count
Metta, I got one more question, Metta. All year long, I've been seeing that, the Timberwolves and the Thunder, they're the 1 and 2 seed right now. Do you think those are the best 2 teams in the NBA, in the Western Conference? Like, do you think those are actual final contenders, or do you like the Nuggets, the Suns, the Clippers, these more experienced teams than them in the postseason?
Yeah, I think those 2 players are serious. You got an SGA who is one of the most complete players, so his game is talking for itself. You can't really stop him. And then you got an Edwards who's at some point people call him like the next MJ. I gotta watch him a little more. But also when you get into the playoffs, if you're young, if it's your first time, yeah, you could be the best now, but maybe not in the playoffs. I remember when we was the best team in the league in regular season, Detroit beat us in Game 6. So, we wasn't quite ready to take it to the next step. So I think right now, I think they are the best team, but in the playoffs, it's going to be their first time. So they didn't answer any questions, and one of them have to lose. If they go to the finals, that'll say a lot. But if they don't go to the finals, that's just going to say it was another young team. And then next year, they'll be a little bit better.
I just want to point out to the record that Chandler, you were sort of leading the witness the way you added words there at the end to make sure that we went this way. I know what you're doing, Chandler. We're not counting on them yet. This is my last question, and it's a simple one. A lot of talk so far. LeBron James, was there possibly a trade? No, maybe. Will he retire a Laker?
As of right now, I think LeBron will retire a Laker. I mean, I do Spectrum, I do Laker TV, so I do a lot of stuff with the Lakers. So I definitely would like to see him, retire as a Laker. Obviously, the craziest things has happened, but I can't see him not retiring a Laker because he's brought a championship here. He got them back in contention. You could remember the years after we won it in 2010. We had like down years after that. We didn't go to the playoffs or anything. So whatever you want to say about LeBron, they're getting into the playoffs. They're not getting to the big game, but they're getting to the playoffs. They're competitive every year. You got to prepare for the Lakers. You can't just go into a game and not prepare for the Lakers now. So I think LeBron loves LA. The weather's great. And then he's one player away, right? He's one player away from playing well because he's still playing at a high level.
He is.
So I can't see him leaving.
He is. I still got him a cap. Metta World Peace, we appreciate you. Thanks for coming back. Hope to have you back soon. We'll take a quick break right now and come back. Wrap things up.
Run it up, run it back, yeah. Run it up, run it back, yeah. Run it up.